recording. Let the music roll for a second. What is up, dudes? It's your excellent friend, the brand, Big Vito T. We are back in business, baby. Super Kick Weekly in the house. Big Vito T, what is up, my dude?
Super Kick today.
Super Kick whenever the hell we feel like it.
Once in a while. Weekly.
Maybe we should just call it the Super Kick Podcast or something now. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Hey, we're trying weekly.
We're talking.
We always tell them the same thing. We're busy.
It's a week in space. How about that?
Super Kick Weekly in space.
It's however long it takes a week to go by on Pro Wrestling Planet. How about that?
Hey, we're living life in the fast lane, baby.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. What up?
What is up, my man? It's good to see you. We are back in business, and we got a lot of wrestling to talk. You know, this is not going to be a subject show.
No.
So it's not going to be
reviewing anything.
We're not reviewing nothing. We're not talking about any certain subject. As we sit here in the year of our Lord 2023, it is October 27th, and we are going to kick around the wrestling news, some of the bigger topics that have been going on here in the last few weeks since we joined you, and kind of take a look ahead to the future. It's an interesting time right now in pro wrestling. It always is, the fall, right? Because a lot of people think of it typically, I know when people look at the business side, they think about how, all the competition with the NFL and all that. And in recent years, the thought has been that, like, during the fall is kind of like the lull, kind of like downtime. I mean, and you could say that, I guess, more applies to maybe WWE. They're trying to do some stuff there with their stuff. AEW flows a little bit differently. I don't think that they really look at things that way as far as business. I think they're still trying to do the best product they can. Anyway, my point is, Vito, is that it's an interesting time of year. Some say it's a down time of year. What do you think of this time of year in wrestling going into like Survivor Series time, what used to be the Starrcade time frame years ago, memories, and how you feel about it today of this time of year in wrestling?
Well, first of all, I like the fall. Fall's one of my favorite times of year. You know, you're coming out of summer, going in, the trees are all changing here in Oregon. So I like the fall. Survivor Series back in the 90s were better. I'm just going to say that. I don't know if you agree, but Survivor Series back in the 90s were better. They built teams better. There was more Survivor Series matches. Now it's only like one Survivor Series match. So Survivor Series has gone downhill, but now it's coming back uphill because of War Games. So I'm hoping that Survivor Series now is always War Games, because I dig that.
Hot take. You think Russo killed Survivor Series in '98 when they went to that one night tournament and they just stopped doing the team thing out of nowhere? You think that like confused people?
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Right?
If your question is, did Russo kill it? I'm just going to say yes.
Right. That's usually the default answer, right? No.
I'd have to go look at that pay-per-view again, but did Russo kill it? Default answer?
No,
yes.
It was a great one-night tournament, and the way they booked it was very, very brilliant. So, I mean, kudos to them on that. But literally I remember being surprised by that, just like out of nowhere. In '98, they're like, okay, we're ditching the whole team concept and we're doing this one night tournament for the title. And it was like cool, but like, Okay, what
And that
happened to
was Survivor Series, the what, 98 you
the
said?
Survivor Series '98? Yeah,
Huh. I'll have to go back and watch
deadly
that then.
game. 'Cause it's a deadly
Oh,
game.
okay, I do remember that now. I forgot that was Survivor Series. That's weird.
It was.
Um, Man, we can have a whole show just based on that. Anyway, I do
We
like,
should do that show. That should be the next show, maybe, huh? Let's do
yeah.
that.
Um,
Let's watch
I do,
Survivor
I do
Series
like
'98
Survivor
again.
Series back in like the '90s, where they'd have like, they'd throw like $1 Million Man's team against someone else's team, or
Yes,
they'd get like all the guys who are
dude.
angry this week against those guys who are happy this week.
The
They'd throw
Road
them against each
Warriors
other.
with Ultimate Warrior and who was the fourth guy? I think it was like Kerry Von Erich or somebody. Uh, I'd have to look, but yeah, that was like I remember that was awesome when you had like the and then you had another team that was like the three members of Demolition with like another dude that like made sense.
Yeah,
Gosh,
yeah. Survivor
so
Series
good.
in the '90s was good. That's where I really like early
But you
'90s
are
anyway.
right. I think they are turning a corner
Yes.
nowadays by doing the war games thing, which is
Yeah.
very ironic because it's like the two concepts were always parallel anyway, right? Like
Hmm.
whoever came up with it first doesn't mean like that was kind of like each company's version of team warfare.
Yeah. Exactly. But I'm cool with that. So that's what I associate fall with is Survivor Series. I've always dug that. Um,
Like Survivor Series, and then I love going into December time because it seems like there's usually like always a new game in recent years. So it's like,
yeah.
Christmas time, like sitting around Christmas break with the new WWE game is always like a nice, cozy feeling in my
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah. I like that too. Um,
So,
I'm hoping to get a PS5 this Christmas, and then I'll
hell
be
yeah.
switching the game I currently have over to PS5. So
Yeah.
that's the thing I'm hoping to slide into.
So we got some good days ahead, and then, we kind of enjoy kind of the simpleness of this time, just kind of enjoy there not being too much story stuff to really follow, and then before we know it, will really kick in, especially in the WWE side of things, with, of course, going into the Mania season.
Yeah.
But,
On the road. On the road to WrestleMania.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of good stuff coming up. But yeah, that's kind of just where I wanted to start off. But we have some news topics to go over.
Sorry if I
Probably,
keep looking over here, people. I got the media company I'm talking to over here, the media department.
hopefully, it's not cast media.
No.
But anyway, we have some news topics to go over. Probably one of the bigger things to come out of the last couple weeks is the news of Impact Wrestling rebranding itself back into TNA Wrestling.
Yes.
So, gosh, what
Yes.
was the old tagline? We are wrestling.
Is that what it
TNA.
is?
We are wrestling.
Um.
James Earl Jones or whoever did that. I don't know.
What? Really?
No, it
I don't
wasn't James
remember.
Earl Jones, but you could tell that,
That would be great.
whoever it was highly influenced by
If
him.
not, they should definitely bring him in. That'd be funny. Um. No. I like this. When they changed from TNA to Impact, I thought there was some like uh don't make me use the W word. Uh, Action going on. I didn't understand it. I thought they're like, they're against the letters. I don't know. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. It had to be because of the pandas, I'm guessing. I don't know.
It seems like we should have a little bit more insight on that. But no, I think what happened was, um, I don't know if it had a whole lot to do with the. I guess they did the rebranding while it was still Dixie.
Yeah,
Because I remember
that's what I'm
they
wondering. It had to be something to do with Dixie and the what was it? It's the Panda Corporation, right? The
Panda
Panda.
Energy
Yeah,
was
Panda Energy.
her parents' company
Yeah,
that was like the backer, if you will,
yeah,
for TNA, and they changed it to Impact. I think the overall thought was is that the TNA was kind of like too Russo-ish and this and that, and they thought that changing it to Impact would give it more of a global. They were trying to do all this global branding. They had the global
Global Force.
championship, yeah, and then they did the Global Force Wrestling.
Yeah,
Jarrett did, or I don't know, but I think that was kind of the idea behind it. And just like almost really shortly after that, like within a couple years, is when they sold right to what ended up. I mean, they a couple years later they started having problems. Like you would always hear about all the problems they were having, and then a couple years after that, like I remember for a couple years there, that was like the hot news was like people were thinking that TNA was like going under basically
they've been
before
saying
Anthem
that for forever. Still to this day, they're saying it.
before Anthem bought them. See, I don't really
Yeah,
hear much anymore. It used to be like 30% of the Observer was like all about like TNA business,
yeah.
and now
Now they're talking about AEW going down in business.
right now it's more about AEW business. If he's going to cover anything ancillary to WWE, that's going to get the most coverage, and then TNA probably gets a few paragraphs.
Yeah.
It's not like I read the thing front to back every week, just from what I've seen.
Did you see the promo that Scott Demore did, saying that TNA's coming back?
I did not. Was it good?
It was pretty good. He was very emotional doing it. So it got me to my feels. It got me. He had some main guys behind him. Kaz was in the ring. Eric Young was in the ring. Um, a couple other guys, mainstays, originals, I guess you could call them,
Right.
back in the day guys. So it was pretty cool. I You should definitely go back and check it out.
It's worth seeking out. So
Yeah, yeah, it's
for me
definitely worth
and
it.
for the listeners out there, definitely
Yes. Yeah, look up the Scott Demore TNA announcement.
worth seeking out.
Yeah.
They, I mean, sure. I mean, it is whatever. I don't know how much of it. Of course, a lot of people's first questions that are popping up everywhere is they want to know if they're going back to the six-sided ring,
Oh, I
which
saw that address.
which I haven't really heard. They're not going to do that.
No, I saw there was a wrestler, I think it was a female wrestler. I don't remember which one. Sorry for not checking that out. But I believe she said that if you can choose whether you want the six-sided ring or you want our bodies to last longer.
Hmm.
So apparently it's the six-sided ring is a little is harder to work with than the
Wow.
four-sided guy. So yeah. So the wrestlers are not fans of the six-sided like we are. I've always liked the six-sided ring.
That makes sense, but I don't remember ever hearing that was like, a thing
Yeah.
per se. But definitely good to know. And now we know, yeah, it's
I
uh,
did hear that
not coming
even
back,
though
so don't hope for it.
the company's name is changing from Impact to TNA, but the show is going to be Impact Wrestling. they're keeping the name of the show to Impact, I guess. So
That makes sense because that's what it was, right? That's what that show's always been.
I don't know. Has
It
it?
was TNA Impact back on Spike and all that, if I remember right.
I don't know. You know my memory; it's not
good. I'm pretty sure when they went to Spike, that's what it was called, was Impact. Back in the Fox Sports days, it didn't have a name. It was just TNA Wrestling on Fox Sports. You remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when they were on Fox Sports
TNA
for a minute, dude? I love that.
Yeah,
I thought that was the coolest. I thought that that was their first actual TV deal besides the weekly pay-per-views, which I would order every now and then.
Weekly pay-per-views.
Weekly pay-per-views. It was crazy, right?
Yeah, they were like, what, $9 or something like that?
They were $10.
Yeah.
And, but, you know, theoretically, it's like you could order that 3 times a month or order the WWE show for $30.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, the WWE show at that point, like, I wasn't really interested in, you know? I was like done with WWE and I wanted something else, so it was worth it to me.
I remember when TNA would record like a bunch of specials in one day. They'd record like X Division extravaganza, the Knockouts extravaganza, a tag team extravaganza. That word's not really used, but that's what I remember.
Right. Okay.
They'd build like they'd film like all these specials for just those people, and then like put them in the canon, and then just like you read online, all the results would be online, but it's like, oh, don't read this because it's coming out next month on this day. Oh, don't read this spoilers because it's coming out 2 months from now, and this one's coming out 3 months from now. It's like, dang, TNA.
I miss that era. That must have been like in the late 2000s or something, maybe.
I don't remember, but that's how they did it. It's like, geez. And then you'd be watching it, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. That's right. This did happen because I read them. I don't know why. I've never really watched TNA a lot. I watched at certain periods. Like I watched a lot when Joseph Park debuted. I was watching then. I don't know. I like Joseph Park. He was entertaining. I loved it.
Abyss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those
Joseph Park character was funny.
Those early Asylum days were great. I was happy when they got the Fox Sports deal, and I caught that as often as I could. That was like I was still taping stuff with a VCR in those days, dude.
Yeah.
I remember having VCR tapes of. I still maybe have a couple of those Asylum shows, those pay-per-views on the original tapes. And I used to record those Fox Sports shows when they'd come on too, but I don't have one of those anymore, unfortunately. Lost a lot of tapes over the years. I still have a couple though. And those TNA pay-per-views, I don't know, even though they're like available, I could probably watch them on YouTube anytime. I just hold on to them, you know. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize is that this is a place with so much like rich history, and it's almost like a crime in a way, the fact that like they mismanaged everything and their brand and their reputation so badly that Tony Khan was able to just like walk right in and become like the number 2 company that has, you know, what a huge blunder. Like that could be TNA right now. You know what I mean?
I know. It's so weird.
Like
I was watching it the other day. They got the I don't know, what was it called? The Digital something championship.
Yeah, the Digital Media Championship, I think
Digital
is what it's
Media
called.
Championship.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a joke in the Internet Championship. Cardona was that.
Yeah,
Zack
yeah, yeah.
Ryder. That was a joke title. He never defended it. And then that's a legit title in TNA or Impact or whatever it is. I'm like, what? Digital Media?
The last couple years of the Dixie administration, and then them having to build back through Anthem, you know, hurt the company. So hopefully, I mean, their thought is that they can at least, you know, be thought of as at least the number 3 at this point. But then again, it's like
Well,
you could say that Tony Khan's Ring of Honor will always be
yeah, I
the
was
number
just gonna
3.
say, are
So
you are you linking AW and Ring of Honor together? Because
yeah,
although I don't have the monthly thing, the I've been looking on YouTube and it's starting to look pretty good. They have the interviews on YouTube for the Ring of Honor shows, and they're pretty good. The interviews are even good. I haven't watched the wrestling, but I want to.
so at least, I mean, that is one thing, and you can make an argument, right? That because Impact has like a over-the-air TV deal, you know, that they would maybe be just like a little bit ahead. But then again, way more people see the Ring of Honor stuff because it bleeds onto AEW TV.
Yes.
And I mean, AEW was kind of working with Impact in that fashion, but I mean, there's not really a need to do that anymore
No.
because of the Ring of Honor thing.
Yeah, they were doing it for a little bit whenever they had
Kenny
Christian
was going
Cage.
over there, and yeah,
Yeah, they had Christian Cage and Kenny winning their world title. So
right. So now they're kind of, you know, they're experimenting that with doing that with the Ring of Honor thing. And so you argue, right? You could argue Impact, which is going to be TNA again, starting next year, right? Or, yeah, starting next year?
January, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Got a big show booked for it. No, wait, I'm thinking of their Bound for Glory that they got coming up, which looks like a pretty sick card, by the way. If you could pull that up, let's talk about that here in a minute. But before we do that, I want to talk about potentially another player coming into the scene
Oh yeah,
to be a
looking forward to this.
contender. Billy Corgan and
Yeah,
the NWA, man. Or excuse me, William Corgan, the third, or whatever his name is.
is that a thing?
Okay, wait a minute. So this is apparently okay. So there's now some back and forth. Now
Whoa.
a story from 411 Mania 20 hours ago says that Billy Corgan won't confirm that the TV deal is with the CW. But
Really?
he says that he says that they've signed 2 TV deals, and supposedly it was with a top 20 network. And I guess he was just asked by a radio show in Cleveland, and he refused to comment. We've signed
Whoa.
2 TV deals with top 20 network. The rumors are that it's with the CW, but that is not 100% confirmed yet, apparently. So,
So their Bound for Glory show was last week.
oh, okay. Well, shows you what I know.
Their next show is Hard to Kill, and that will be the January 13th.
Yes, and that's the one where they're rebranding.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, you know, if we'll see kind of like a different look, different sort of thing.
Let me look at this card real quick.
Now, I thought that this NWA stuff was confirmed, but apparently not yet.
It's
So
definitely
that's
heavily rumored.
right. So that's something to note, at least. This would be
Wow.
a very interesting time if that did happen, of course.
Wow, this TNA, this last Impact card, the Bound for Glory card, have you looked into that?
Right, yeah, no, I was seeing this. Wasn't it?
It's pretty good.
It was pretty amazing, huh? Read them off to me so I don't have to pull it up again. Go over it with me. Do you have the
Okay,
results there? Let's go
I
over the
do.
results.
Some of these people I do not know, so forgive me. Uh, we had let's see, a Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Championship match where MK Ultra, which is weird, defeated Deonna Purrazzo and Tasha Steelz, which MK Ultra is Masha Slamovich and
Yeah,
Killer Kelly.
Slamovich. I've seen her
Slamovich.
before.
Then we
She's
had
good.
an Impact X Division Championship match where Chris Sabin defeated Kenta by pinfall.
Solid match.
I heard that Impact
Bringing
is working
Kenta
with
in.
New Japan, so
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Then we had a Monsters Ball match. Those are great. Where PCO. Let me just take a second. God bless PCO, man. You
right.
know,
Yeah, for
God bless
sure.
him. God bless PCO. Defeated Moose, Rhino. God bless Rhino. Anyway, and Steve Macklin.
I think it's crazy how PCO, after all these years, somehow turned into his old partner, Jacques Rougeau. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I like his. I saw a
Like,
picture of him the other day where he's like a Frankenstein zombie type thing, and I was
right.
like, "Way to reinvent yourself, PCO. Good
So
for you,
crazy, man.
buddy."
You shave and cut all the hair off, and he looked
Yeah,
just like Jacques. Like, they should have done that back in the day. Like, that's how they should have done the Mounties or the Quebecers or whatever,
yeah.
is they should have, like, looked the same.
I think he looks cool.
It's so weird.
Uh, and he moves. I saw a video of him for like last month or something. He moves so good, and he's a big dude. I don't
Yeah.
know. God bless PCO. Uh, then we had an Impact World Tag Team Championship match, which was Bay's Feast or Fire Tag Team match. It was ABC, which is Chris Bay and Ace Austin. And they defeated the Rascals, which is Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel. Defeated them by pinfall.
I've heard of Trey Miguel.
Then
Probably seen him
we had a
wrestle.
singles match, which I might go look this one up. Will Ospreay defeated Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
that his name, Speedball?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
That
then
would
we
have
had
been good.
a 20-person intergender call your shot gauntlet. Okay, the winner receives a trophy and a contract they can invoke anytime within 1 year for a championship match of their choosing. So, Money in the Bank. It was a Money in the Bank gauntlet match where Jordan Grace won by last eliminating Bully Ray. So, good for Jordan Grace.
Dude, Jordan Grace is awesome.
Yeah, she is. Um, then we had an Impact Knockouts World Championship match where Trinity defeated Mickey James by submission.
Okay.
So
Some star
good for
power
Trinity.
there.
Good for Trinity.
Some star power
Then
there. Good.
we had Impact World Championship, which is Alex Shelley defeated Josh Alexander. That's all I had.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they finally did the. That's great. Yeah, because they had. Because Alexander had to, like, give up the belt because he was hurt. And I think that's what led to Shelley getting the belt. So they finally did that.
All right. I'm not going to read
that
who all
match.
got eliminated, but I am going to read the entrance of the Call Your Shot Gauntlet real quick. And I'm going to read them fast, okay?
Okay.
Jake Something, Eddie Edwards, Kenny King, Juventud Guerrera.
Hoovy.
Holy shnikes. Johnny Swinger, Giselle Shaw, Jody Threat, Kylan King. Kylan King getting work. Good for her. Sunny Kiss. Is that Sunny Kiss's debut in Impact?
I believe so, yes.
Good for them. Bully Ray, Matt Cardona, Jordan Grace, Eric Young, Joe Hendry, Brian Myers.
I
Heath.
believe in Joe Hendry.
He's just going by Heath. All right.
Yeah.
Frankie
there you go.
Kazarian, Rich Swan.
There you go.
He's working. Good for him.
He's been in Impact pretty much this whole time since he got released.
Jonathan Gresham and
Gresham.
Dirty Dango at number 20.
All right.
Good for Dirty Dango.
Some good.
Juventud Guerrera.
Some good star power there. I want to see this show. I want to download this show.
Legally.
Yes, completely legally, of course.
Juventud Guerrera. Wow.
And no, Hoovy was still working. He made a special appearance.
Oh, eliminated first.
Well, you know.
Hoovy. Anyway.
He was just there to be there, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for Hoovy.
TNA
they've announced 2 matches for their TNA revival. I'm gonna just throw those in there real quick.
Yes, please do.
There's a singles match for the TNA World Knockouts Championship. Jordan Grace is calling her shot on Trinity. And then Moose is cashing in his Feast or Fired world title match against Alex Shelley. So it's Alex Shelley versus Moose for the title. So there's my Impact pay-per-view information.
That's a good card, man. That's a good start.
So, since we're on the news of pay-per-views, I just want to throw these out here. We're talking about fall and November pay-per-views. There are 3 pay-per-views, special live events or premium live events, whatever they are. We got Crown Jewel coming up real soon on the 4th. Full Gear is on the 18th, and Survivor Series is on the 25th. So there's our November shows.
A lot of shows. There's some shows. I wonder if Randy Orton's going to be on any of those.
Well, I don't see him being on Full Gear. I don't see him being on Crown Jewel.
Word on the street is saying that Randy Orton's about a month away from a return. Spoiler alert.
The chances of him being on Survivor Series then is strong, probably.
Pretty high, huh?
Yeah.
So it's definitely possible. There's also a lot of rumors about a Mr. Phil Brooks being a Survivor Series, which we don't really buy. Or at least I don't really buy.
Or want. Sorry, folks.
I think that's what it's come to. Realistically, I was thinking about this week, and, I don't think we'll ever get a proper in-ring return. I think a few years down the road, they might throw the Hall of Fame bone out there at him and see how that goes. That's usually always
for Phil?
Yes.
Oh, give him that now.
That's like the olive branch, right? Like, okay,
yeah,
you come
just give him that now and get it over with.
You come in, you do the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And if things go good, then maybe we'll talk. I think that's kind of how it happens.
No, let's just give him the Hall of Fame. Let's put him out the pasture and let's move on. I'm sorry, I'm burnt. Okay,
You're just like we're not going to cover Phil
I'm
anymore
burnt.
on this
I'm
show.
so burnt on him.
Well, so Orton will be back.
Yes.
His partner is gone, and the
Yeah.
storyline he left when he was in the middle of with his partner would be over in turn with that. So you bring Randy back. I don't know how close you're keeping up with the E at the moment, but what do you do with him when he comes back? What do you think?
I'm semi. I still do my fast forwarding to the parts that I like. I'm a hardcore wrestling fan.
Right?
I look online too. There's a lot of people who do the fast forward thing. I'm not the only one. Um,
Yeah, you got to keep it handy.
Randy. Sorry, Randy. Creative's got nothing for you.
We have no ideas, bro. Sorry.
Well, let's put him in a Survivor Series match and see where that goes.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, Randy. That's what we got.
It's simple enough.
He ain't got much time left. I mean,
Is there a feel? Because I've only seen like bits and pieces of Raw like the last few weeks. So is there like a direction there seems to be heading? It seems like we're gonna be doing a Raw versus SmackDown type deal with the Nick Aldis
yeah,
thing and all that, right?
yeah.
Is
Nick
that
Aldis and Adam is his name Adam?
Adam Pierce?
Uh,
Yeah.
Adam Pierce. Yeah.
Scrap
They
Daddy.
had a couple sayings back and forth. I think Adam Pierce said this is war now or something.
Right. It's
So
turning into that whole thing.
there's gonna be some stuff going down. Um, that's something I don't like about Survivor Series now.
Right.
Ever since they have that bragging rights pay
Let's
per view, then
yeah, let's make it Raw versus SmackDown, and it's
yeah, I don't like
meaningless
that.
because everyone's on the same shows when they want to
Yeah,
be
the
anyway.
brand split ruined Survivor Series. I think is what it was.
If the brand
Um,
split meant something, then it would mean something, but the brand split
yeah,
doesn't mean anything.
yeah,
So Raw versus SmackDown means nothing also. I don't know how
yeah.
long it's going to take them to understand this concept.
Or they'll take the world champion, put him against the other world champion. Intercontinental champion faces the U.S. champion. The women face
Well,
the women.
at least that kind of makes sense,
Well,
because I mean there is two champions, but yeah.
I'd rather the two champions each get a team
See, there you go.
instead of saying
They could do
instead of
that this
saying
year.
who's the best women's champion. If that's the case, you should do that at Night of Champions or something.
They could totally do
Or
that this year.
it should be, the women's champion picks her team, the other women's champion picks a team. Let's get it. Or if you're gonna do that, then I guess the tag teams. Let's put the tag teams together.
You know,
So let's take. Ooh, there we go. Let's take the women's tag team champions and put them with like the tag team champ or the world champion, and let's schmoz all that together.
maybe we get a mixture of a couple of those things.
Yeah.
Uh, it seems like they've done, and I don't know. Do you think that like just one Survivor Series match is good, or would you like to see a
No.
return of like like a whole night of this type of stuff?
I want to see a Survivor Series, like a whole. Give me 1 second here.
You remember when they did the Ultimate Survivor? They only did it like 1 year, and it was like it was where they like the only two guys that survived were like Hogan and Warrior,
3. No, I guess I
and
don't
they
remember
teamed
that.
up. I think that was like I want to say Survivor Series 90 or 91.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Wait, no, that's a tag team match. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the 1993 Survivor Series, there was 4 Survivor Series matches.
Yeah, no, there was usually, I mean, up until 98, that's what the show would be, is just a bunch of those matches, basically.
94, there was only 3.
Really. Eh,
Let's see. 95. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to 4. See, I'm getting carried away.
96 seems like it had a lot of them. I mean, we could go year by year.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 97. Now we're into the attitude era. 1, 2, 3, 4. 98. This is the deadly game one.
Yes, 98, yeah, the tournament.
Yeah.
Well,
Not a single Survivor Series match.
Vito, let's switch gears a little bit here,
All right.
and we'll go to Tony Land here for a bit, and we'll talk about, of course, the impending retirement of Sting, which this week led to the AEW debut of Ric Flair. What do you think about this?
Woo! I thought that was cool. I like this music too.
Finally, huh?
Yeah, the music was cool. Did you catch that?
I did not.
It was a cool little remix of like it was regular one.
Right.
It was cool. I liked it.
I mean, WWE doesn't own Space Odyssey, I don't think. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I mean, maybe they do. Maybe they do have the rights to it. I don't know, but I mean, it's not like their song. So,
Yeah. And rumor is that on his last show they're gonna be bringing in like a lot of people. Like rumor is like Sluger's coming in, Steamboat. Of course, that's just people
Luger would be
guessing
cool to
because
see.
they're all Sting guys.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm excited.
It's interesting to see Flair finally make his way onto AEW TV. Of course, he was supposed to do this, supposed to be there a couple years ago, but then the Dark Side of the Ring thing came out.
Yeah.
And Flair kind of got semi-canceled there for a second. And
Canceled.
now that's all blown over, though. You know?
Yeah.
He's on every podcast you can think of, you know what I mean? Have you seen, you ever watch Theo Vaughn? Oh, man, he's funny. Flair was on there. That's a good listen or a good watch. Come across that on YouTube. Very interesting. Comedian, you know, he's a gimmick comedian, you know.
Oh yeah.
But it's funny. And so just to kind of have a couple guys there, you know, doing their gimmick is kind of funny. But yeah, Flair coming in to do this. Have you heard anything? I mean, was this just like a one shot?
No. From what I understand, and Sting had said something later on in the broadcast. Flair's going to be along with him this whole ride. I guess Flair's going to actively be on AEW with Sting.
Huh.
He almost made it sound like he's going to be his manager, but they didn't outwardly say that. But I don't know if he's just going to be backstage with them but the way Sting put it, he made it seem like he's going to be his manager. It was kind of interesting.
Well, there should be, you know, I just don't know what you do with Flair and this, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Without him having any kind of direction, the promos don't really, you know, I mean, it's fine and it's nice to see him.
He tried to chop Sting when he was in the ring. And it looked like he hurt his hand.
Oh
It was
my
kind of
gosh.
funny.
Uh,
It was great.
it's hard to have him. At least it kind of made sense for him to be, maybe eventually they can have him vested at some point where he can actually cut some like really meaningful stuff and really help out as far as that way. They were able to get that out of him, I think, a little bit with Charlotte there. Sometimes, because he was obviously very passionate about her career. I don't know if we'll get that same level of stuff out of him here. I don't know how you can draw that out of him. I'm not sure
I
that
wouldn't
having him with
mind.
Sting is the way to do that.
I wouldn't mind Flair staying on and maybe having like a family. You know what I mean? Like who's building that? Don Callis right now is building a Don Callis family,
Right.
and there's a couple other people who got families or whatever. Like Smart Mark Sterling's got him a couple guys. Um, Prince Nana has him with a couple guys. I think Ric Flair. I think he could do that. Get himself his own little horseman. You know what I mean?
You know what I always wondered is they tried to do that in TNA with Fortune, right? So what was like I didn't really know about this back then, but I wonder what the logistics are as far as the Four Horsemen name when it comes to wrestling. Is that something that is WWE trademarked now because of the sale?
Mm.
It seems like that would be a hard thing for them to trademark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even with maybe they just called them Fortune because they didn't want to, stick them with that horseman thing, for fear of backlash. Do you think that that would work? Do you think that he could literally be like, these are the new Four Horsemen with Flair's endorsement? Do you think that that would actually work?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I I don't even know if I'd want them to be because one of the people I'm thinking about, of course, is his son-in-law because uh, I think that'd be interesting. You know, uh, I thought he would get a group when he came here because he was dealing with Lo- Los Ingobernables. I went for it. I think I got
I think you got it, man.
it. um, yeah, so he was dealing with that group when he first came back, kind of. So I thought he was going to have some guys come in. And I thought if he was going to have some guys come in, especially now that Flair's part of the company, it'd be cool if he can have um, a group with, Andrade and whoever else. So I don't know. I thought that'd be cool, especially now that Andrade's doing the figure eight as a finisher.
I think they could pull it off.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't know, man. I think maybe the way to do it. Oh man, what about this? Okay, I literally just thought about this, and I'm gonna go kind of off the whim here, but
Do it.
check this out, right? Perfect angle. Someone like a group of guys. I don't know who it would be. A group of heels. Um, group of charismatic heels. I don't even know who they would be. I'm not going to waste time trying to think about who they would be right now. Group of heels comes out with their, like a parody. You kind of think about how like the DX used to do the Nation and stuff like that. But you would have this group basically come out there and parody the Horsemen, and you'd have a guy kind of acting like Flair and a guy acting like this guy and this and that, and they could do this whole like spoof, and they could do it like every week, until just like the point of sickness, you know? And then finally, Flair is like, I gotta make my own group of dudes to like take you guys out because you're like, you know, dragging the horseman name through the mud, you know. These are the actual horsemen that I want to be to represent the next generation, you know. They could do something like that. I think that would be good. Listen, Tony, do it. Come on, Tony, we're counting on you.
I think what's left over from the JAS can either play in the...
Yes. I love that. I think they should be in the heel group.
Yeah.
It could literally maybe be a like, oh, man, too bad it wasn't like actually still together, because that would have been perfect. You could have Jericho do the Flair and have whoever else make up whoever else, right? But the main thing would be a Flair-Jericho feud through this, you know? It would be the Jazz parodying the Four Horsemen, and then Flair would finally have enough of it. Man, that would have been good.
Well, those guys could still do it, I think.
Yeah.
But see, the one thing I keep thinking of is I want Daniel Garcia to be a wrestler, man. I honestly would love to see Daniel Garcia, after all this time, join the BCC.
He
goes through all the crap.
Yeah.
Like he does through all this crap, and like, especially with all this daddy magic trying to get him to stop the dance and everything. I would love, after he goes through all this and all this crap with the dance and him getting stopped, I would love for him to be like, that's it. And then just call Bryan Danielson and be like, I'm ready. And then like they jump him in, and then he's wearing a BCC shirt.
They should do just awesome. Like a series of vignettes where he's like getting punished in like this dojo.
Yeah.
Or something, you know?
Yeah.
And then
Wheeler Yuta just walks in and chokes him out of nowhere.
Wheeler Yuta just great. Like is like whipping him with a cane.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Yes. Your initiation is getting your ass caned by Wheeler Yuta.
And then the Sandman's in the corner like, oh, that's man. Good. And you're like, wait, boy, what's the Sandman doing there? I don't know.
You're not in the club.
Right. You're not even from Blackpool.
Yeah, you don't even go here.
You don't go here.
Oh, man. That's funny.
I'm trying to find some more stuff. You have anything for us?
You want to run down the Crown Jewel card?
Yeah, let's do that. That's perfect.
I don't know if there's any more matches coming, but I have 6 of them here we can run down real quick.
This will happen next week, so who knows if we'll get to link up before then. So yes, let's go ahead and throw this out there.
All right, here we go. 6 matches for Blood Money Mania. John Cena versus Solo Sikoa.
Interesting.
What do you got? You got Solo for that, right? John's not going to win.
Well, no, they're making this whole thing about how Cena hasn't won a singles match in like the longest ass time. So,
well, good. He can keep losing. We got Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest. That sounds promising.
Okay. All right.
Then we got... Okay. I'm going to skip this one, and we'll come back to it.
Okay.
We got Roman Reigns defending his title against LLA Knight. Yeah. I like that. I would love for him to beat him just like out of nowhere. Maybe even a roll up from a spear. I think that would be awesome. Just LA Knight win.
Man, it
just shock everybody.
I would say, but the fact that it's happening in Saudi, if it was anywhere else, maybe. But I don't think they're going to do that. They're not going to end his reign in Saudi Arabia, I don't think.
No. Then we got the Fatal 5-Way match for the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and Raquel Rodriguez. I don't see Mommy losing her title.
Deck is stacked. I mean, this could be a thing where they... so it's a 5-way, so the first pin wins?
Yeah.
So that this could be a way to get the belt off of her without having her lose. I mean,
That's true.
That is something that, that is a possibility. So
I find it strange that they're going to put 5 women in a Saudi match. I mean, they're all going to be dressed up to their chins.
Right, yeah. As long as they're in their full covered gear,
And then we got Seth Rollins defending his title against Captain Boarpants. I'm so sick of Drew McIntyre.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like him. Oh
man.
I just don't. I knew that it was just a matter of time before he was back in the title picture. Because if he's not in the title picture for the world title, what else is he doing? They're doing nothing. He flounders around when he's not in the world title picture. They don't put him in any other title matches. They put him in like a stupid tag match randomly. They have him doing some weird stuff with Sheamus and the Brawling Brutes. He just flounders around until he's back in the title picture. He's boring. I'm sick of Drew McIntyre.
I understand your take, actually.
Yeah.
Now, I think that, I understand your take because he's just had a really bad streak of luck, I think, in kind of a way, you know what I mean? The whole, I don't know, were you buying the run back, back, like the Pandemic Mania year, right? Like that was supposed to be his moment. Were you on board then, or were you not even sold back then?
Like him and Braun Strowman, like those matches, like him in the Pandemic that time.
I think he beat.
He did wrestle Braun Strowman though, right?
No,
in that time.
Strowman. I think Strowman worked with Roman that year, because Strowman also won the title at that Mania.
Yeah.
Strowman won the title, and McIntyre won the other title.
Oh, okay.
From what I remember.
Nope, never been a fan.
So not even then, huh?
No, I bought into Jinder Mahal more than Drew McIntyre.
No.
I don't know. It's never been the guy.
It's kind of, it's one of those things. I don't know. I was into him.
You a McIntyre guy?
I do like him, but I also see your point of like what you're saying about him not doing anything.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a title thing. And I think it's just kind of there, it's a holding pattern because of the whole deal. And it's like they had the chance to go ahead and give him the big win at the Mania afterwards, actually in front of people, which everyone automatically assumed that was what they were doing. But then they had, then they did that screwed finish with Lashley, the boring ass finish where MVP just like distracted McIntyre and, Lashley like stole the victory.
Yeah.
And that's how we left it.
And I don't know, he just doesn't seem like he's got a lot of charisma. I don't really check into his promos very well. I don't know. I'm just not a big McIntyre guy. Maybe I'm just being nitpicky, but let's move on to the match that I skipped. Okay. There once was a guy who was a boxer. Okay. There once was a guy who was a YouTube personality. Okay. Then this boxer won a match in a boxing match, and he decided to make a challenge in a boxing match. Okay,
Yeah.
in a boxing match. Pro. In, anyway, Logan Paul is challenging Rey Mysterio for the United States title. Now, Logan Paul to me is a freak of nature. And I say that in the most nicest way possible. Okay?
Right.
Most celebrities, when they come into the WWE, they're like a one and done. They did an job. Bad Bunny, one of the best. Bad Bunny brings it every time. Logan Paul, I thought Logan Paul was going to come in, do a couple roll arounds and stuff. But he came in like a champ, dude. Logan Paul is a good wrestler.
Right.
Unfortunately, he's
This ain't
better than
Dennis
some of the
Rodman
guys.
back in the '90s. You know.
He's better than some of the guys who are actively wrestling on the roster. It's kind of weird. But I feel like Logan Paul is going to beat Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title.
Why
What's your
not?
thoughts?
Why not? I don't care if he does.
Why not? Why not? In my mind, feels like he's going to take the U.S. title onto his YouTube channel and just be weird with it.
Uh,
I don't know. I
you
don't know.
know,
It's going to be a good match because Logan Paul's a good wrestler, as weird as that sentence sounds coming out of my mouth. And Rey Mysterio is amazing as usual. But um I don't know. Logan
I
Paul is so
like
weird.
I like the boxing match challenge. When I heard that he did that, I thought that was freaking brilliant. Because why
Yeah,
not
I went
cross
back and
promote?
watched it too.
You know, WWE like loves him for doing that. You know what I mean? And that to me is the definition of the benefits of having a guy like that on board that can cross promote for you. You know, I think
Yeah,
that from a marketing standpoint is absolutely
yeah,
like just amazing. You know,
yeah. I heard
so
about it. I went and watched the video. I mean, yeah,
why not? Why not?
yeah.
You don't have another like boxing match lined up right now, so plug your
No,
WWE fight.
yeah. So
You know what I mean?
there's the Crown Jewel card as of right now.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get some other stuff thrown in there.
And there's nothing for Survivor Series yet.
Of course, we're still a little bit around the corner as far as
Yeah.
that goes.
After
Um,
Crown Jewel, we'll start getting that set up. Um, they have four matches set up for Full Gear, which is
lay those
November
on me.
18th.
Lay those on me.
Um, MJF is going to wrestle either Kenny Omega or Jay White for the AEW Championship. Not exactly how that works out.
Wait a minute. So MJF,
Oh,
Jay
no,
White.
sorry. Sorry, I have that backwards. It's either MJF or Kenny Omega versus Jay White because Kenny Omega and MJF are wrestling on Collision tomorrow night.
What?
Yeah.
They're putting that on TV?
Yes.
I gotta
Because
watch that.
MJF is about to
Right, he's about to break the record.
yeah. So they're giving
See, I
Kenny a
heard that this was
chance to
happening, but
yeah.
I didn't know. I thought that they were teasing it for the future. I didn't know that it was actually
No.
like.
No, they gotta do it before he passes Kenny's record. So they're doing it on Collision. And then we got a 2-on-1 handicap for the ROH World Tag Titles, which is MJF versus the Guns, the Bang Bang Gang. And then we got Hikaru Shida, which is one of my favorite wrestlers. I love Hikaru Shida. Any person who comes to the ring with a kendo stick in their hands, I love it. And she's the first ever three-time AEW Women's Champion. And she's going against another favorite of mine, Timeless Tony Storm. Have you been watching AEW Dynamite?
They're interesting. Yeah, these
I used to fast
vignettes.
forward the picture in picture.
Right,
I no longer do
right,
because she has her little silent film over there.
right.
Oh, that is genius. A silent film on picture in picture is hilarious.
Yeah,
Then we have a six-man tag match, which is Sting, Darby Allin, a TBA, Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. And we all know what's going to happen. They got a little over 2 weeks, about 3 weeks, to chip at Adam Copeland's friendship with Christian before he adds himself to that six-man tag match.
seems pretty elementary at this point.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck on this MJF Omega deal, man. Like, what
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I mean, giving this away on TV, you think they'll pop the million for Collision for the first time? No?
I don't know. The internet, the interweb is very, very hard on AEW for ratings and for house numbers.
Yeah.
Because those pictures come up where the hard cam side is empty
is
or
empty.
whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot
And
of that going around.
I saw a ratings thing about how they were going to eventually beat WWE in ratings, and the what was it? The ratings for Dynamite, Collision, and another one didn't even match the same as Raw.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
So I
too.
was like, okay, who cares?
Right.
So I don't really know exactly how that's going to go down, but
fair enough.
Yeah, to me, ratings is just a number because Tony Khan is going to continuously throw money at AEW, whether it pops numbers or not.
I understand why they're doing this whole thing, but man, like, I don't know, dude. I would have tried to buy an MJF Omega pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Like, if that would have been the pay-per-view match, even without, like, really having much of a build-up or not really knowing much of the build-up, like, I would have been like, ooh, like, I gotta buy that.
MJF, Tony's Jay White, been known for putting great matches on TV.
Right. And that's awesome.
Did you watch Okada's debut on Dynamite?
Was that, like, recently?
Yeah, it was last week. It was Okada.
Wow. No, I'll have to go back and see that. I missed
that.
Okada
and Orange Cassidy versus Claudio.
So this is like 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I have not watched this week's
Claudio
show
and
yet.
Bryan Danielson, maybe? Yeah, it was versus Claudio and Bryan Danielson. It was great, man. So great. Okada's debut match on Dynamite, he was tagging up with Orange Cassidy. It was great.
I would like to seek that out now.
Mm-hmm.
Had the kids Halloween fun night on Wednesday this last week. So usually it's like a thing. I come home from football practice and then I like put Dynamite on. And since they didn't have practice and we had this fun night thing, it totally like threw my night out of whack. So I haven't even watched Dynamite yet this week.
So you brought up Halloween. At the beginning of this, I had a question I wanted to ask you, Halloween related and wrestling related.
All right.
Okay. 2 questions. 1, did you ever dress up as a wrestler for Halloween when you were a kid?
Unfortunately, as a kid, no.
Okay. Ever?
I have as an adult.
Okay.
I was Macho Man a few years back. pretty sweet Macho Man costume that I pieced together on my own. I bought some Zubaz that were kind of like his pants. And then I just got like the purple macho shirt. Got like a little brown wig and the bandana and the glasses and all that. And I did macho.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty easy to put together.
I did Sting whenever I was in high school.
Whoa.
Me and my buddy did the face paints and did Sting. So that was fun.
Does Violent J count as a wrestler? Because I was Violent J one year when I was in high school.
I maybe. Did you go as Violent J the wrestler or as Violent J the twisted rapper?
Well, I mean, they're one and the same, right?
I guess you can say that. Now, if you were a kid now, what wrestler from AEW and what wrestler from WWE would you dress up as now?
Well, man, there's a lot of good ones now.
Yeah.
You know, you could put together like a Roman costume pretty easily, I would say, on your own. If we're going like with piecing
that's
together.
Roman without the chest thing is not that great.
Right.
Yeah, that's just a shirtless Samoan with paint.
Yeah, I know. You would do the vest, or you would do like a shield thing, I guess, even though that's not like technically current.
Yeah.
You know, you could probably pull off like a Fiend thing. On the AEW side, it'd probably be like Sting, or like you could do like the Darby face paint. I think my son entertained that thought, I think like last year, but we didn't end up doing it. Yeah.
I think for me, I see all these kids doing it in AEW. I think if I would do an AEW wrestler, it would be Orange Cassidy because I dig that.
See, there you go. That's super simple to put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if I were to do a WWE one, I think about that for 1 second. I don't know. I think it'd be cool to dress up like the New Day, like one of their crazy outfits.
Right.
Or let's see, what's another current one? Yeah, I think the New Day would be cool.
I mean, do we really have anybody like supernatural-ish besides, you know, like maybe like Demon Finn Balor? I mean, there's no more.
That would be a good one.
You know, if you're not counting like Bray and the Fiend or whatever, you know, you could do the Demon, yeah.
Who's the girl who she's in NXT and she wears like footy pajamas and I don't know. She comes out with like a pillow and blanket or something.
Man, I have no idea when it comes to this new school NXT stuff. The few times I've put it on recently, it's like I don't really know anyone and my brain shuts down. Although Chase U seems really cool. And, you know, a couple of those.
Wendy Chu.
Okay.
Yeah, she wears like these footy pajamas and she comes to the ring with like a pillow and stuff like that. She's, I don't know, sleepy or something.
Wendy Cho, what you?
Yeah. Wendy Chu, I think. That's pretty cool. I like that. That'd be a good costume from WWE. But I just wanted to get that out. We're a couple of days from Halloween, so
happy Halloween, everyone. This is basically our Halloween episode.
Yes.
We should have maybe talked a little bit more about, you know, Halloween havocs and,
Ooh.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Real quick, you have any good Halloween Havoc memories?
Not right offhand, actually. I can't think of any right offhand.
Well, of course, there's the giant getting pushed off of Cobo Hall. Of course, I didn't watch that live, but the Halloween Havoc 94, 95 were always interesting. And then I do have one thing, Halloween Havoc 98 is actually the first, it was like right after I moved down here to South County.
Yeah.
And it was like the first time I had like a bunch of friends over to like watch wrestling at that house, and it was pretty awesome. It was a whole lot of fun. I had like 4 or 5 buddies over and we watched it. And then we were like so pissed off when the feed cut off. That was that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Where the feed dropped in the middle of Goldberg DDP. Or like right after it started.
Let me see if I can find one that I like here. Let me see. Havoc. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Piper and Hogan in the cage.
Yeah, that was 97.
That's right. Yeah.
That was an interesting year.
Yes.
And then even the year before that, 96, which was, I think it was just Hogan Savage. That was like, during the first NWO year. And that's when Piper returned. It was Hogan, Savage, Hogan, and the NWO are beating the tar out of Savage. And then Piper shows up. And that led to their match at Starrcade that year.
Let's see here. Yeah. I think that was probably my favorite one. I liked 97 probably was my favorite one. Because the lead up to that was pretty good.
Right.
The vignettes, the Piper vignettes leading up to Havoc 97 was pretty good.
Memory wise, 98 was good. As from a show, what I remember, not great. There was a Raven match, I think it was Raven Jericho, that was pretty good. And then the DDP Goldberg match was actually pretty decent, but we didn't get to see it that night. But I remember the cable company, I called and complained, and they gave me the replay on Tuesday for free. Plus, they gave me a complete refund for the pay-per-view. So we got Halloween Havoc 98 for free. And then
I got to see its entirety after you got all the results off of Nitro.
Right, exactly. Because on Nitro, they played the match because it happened to everybody.
Yeah.
So on Nitro, they came out and they're like, we're sorry, we're going to play the match for free on TV tonight. And it popped a huge rating.
I just want to point something out that I don't remember this from the 1997 Halloween Havoc, which I'm going to go watch that Halloween Havoc when I get off this. That Jacqueline defeated Disco Inferno in a singles
for the
match.
TV title, right?
No,
it was for the TV
it
title.
was not on the line, no. But I'm going to go watch that.
Yes, that was actually good. That's one of the better matches on that card, bro. I'm serious. From what I remember, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. So it went 9 minutes and 39 seconds. It was
sweet little 10-minute match.
10-minute match.
Well, hey, on that note, we want to thank you very much for joining us. Happy Halloween out there.
Yes,
from
happy
us.
Halloween.
If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed and you like the video and all that. Thank you very much for watching us. We're getting some new views over there, so stoked about that. All of our homies in Ireland, what's up? If you're listening to us on Spotify or anywhere else, please leave us 5 stars or something like that. Hook us up somehow.
Yes.
Big Vito T, my man. Too sweet me.
Too sweet.
Maybe a little SZA action.
Oh,
Maybe.
SZA
Oh,
man.
ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.